one of the most, the clearest, easiest to understand, comprehensive explanations of M theory. How it works and how it may explain our entry into these new dimensions.
What was the author again?
Lisa Wren.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, one of the examples she gives in that book is she's trying to describe the difference between a strong and a weak gravity field. In the strong gravity field, which now let me describe the weak one first. We're in a weak gravity field. In a weak gravity field, objects are dense and they move slowly. And they're large, they're relatively large. In a strong gravity field, energy is very powerful. And if this object was in that gravity field, it would reduce down to a microscopic size. It would be very, very minute. It would have very little mass to it. In a strong gravity field, energy is very high and mass is very minute. Mass expands in the weak gravity field to become very large, and energy reduces. Again, we get back to the mirror image. One of the things she's examining is that from a strong to a weak gravity field, there's a mirroring. And she uses this example of two pegboard wheels. That you set up two panels of pegboard. You've seen pegboard, like you hang tools on in the garage, and it has holes in it. It's like a sheet of heavy cardboard with holes in it. And she puts one pegboard here and another pegboard here, and she says this is the strong gravity field, this is the weak gravity field. Now, on the back side of the strong gravity field is actually magnetics. Magnetics produces a strong gravity field that gives off an electrical flow, or electrons, that then produce the weak gravity field that produce magnetics as we know it. Or in other words, the entropic universe, the universe of conservation of energy. I'm not sure that really says it that well, but that's the official term. Now, in the strong gravity field, she says that gravity flows through the holes in the pegboard to matching holes in the pegboard over here. And there's a transference through the membranes from the strong gravity field to the weak gravity field, but everything gets bigger in the weak gravity field. In other words, it's magnified. And because it's magnified in terms of matter, then it has to be reduced in terms of matter to come back to another pegboard that's in the weak gravity field and recondense and become the strong gravity. In other words, there's an alternating pattern of strong and weak gravity fields that move through the membranes, and they alternate. And she is suspecting, this is just theory, but she is suspecting that everything that is manifest in the weak gravity field actually was created in the strong gravity field. And it was created minutely in the strong gravity field, and then it emerged in a manifest, large way in the weak gravity field. By her way of thinking, something so tiny as the mass in a thought with high energy could result in a planet over here. Now I'm going to leave you with a bombshell and send you on your break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do a meditation. This will help set you up. Yeshua said, this is in the scripture, he said, if a man would have the amount of faith as a mustard seed, he could move a mountain. It has been translated to read this way. If a man would have so much faith, just as much faith as a mustard seed, he could move a mountain. But what I'm wondering, and actually what he has confirmed in his journaling and his communication to me, is that he actually said, from something the size of a mustard seed, you will move a mountain. In other words, the small is going to create the large. And I believe it very much ties in with, and the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. I think it very much ties in with him saying, and the kingdom of heaven is within you.
Oh, there goes. My eye out there for 1 second.
Maybe we just created a new ocean.
You're in the flow.
I am in the flow. Actually, that was supposed to be our subject. But you guys took seized the flow and redirected it, so we'll get back to the flow. Don't worry.